Well, hello. This is Charles Pang, chaplain, the people's chaplain, and this is a message for, and I am totally probably going to butcher the pronunciation of your name. And this is just my intuition. Jas Santillan, Jassantillan. Was I close? Um. Anyway, thank you for posting the comment that you did when I had posted my comment during the Rittenhouse deliberations. I apologize that it took me this long. I thought I had my channel linked to a different address, and now that I'm checking the address it was linked to, I just realized just how I feel like I've let you guys down, but I hope this video finds you well and just helps make up for just that time it took me to get back to you like this. So if you can find it in your heart to just forgive me and just like not discredit me for, my chaplain work. Again, I officially stepped into this role when I found out about this case on my birthday, November 5th. So, but your comment, it just says ... and so easy for non-blacks to ignore the plight of the black people murdered by the police and call Black Lives Matter terrorists for protesting the injustices. It is easy for non-blacks. Now, when I say non-blacks, I'm not talking skin color. I'm talking inside. It is so easy for people who aren't black inside to ignore the plight of the black people. Again, black people. But I know essentially a lot of people refer to that as the skin. I just want you to know that when I say, yeah, the black people murdered by the police, that's what I mean. I'm not referring to their skin color, just people who are viewed as just and called Black Lives Matter terrorists. This is where I have a disconnect, and sorry about this light glare. That doesn't really help at all. Well, I hope that helps the glare and doesn't, I know, the darkness, but JS, and again, just not to butcher your name any further, but if I just may call you JS. When the BLM movement officially started establishing itself after, like Trayvon Martin, just like these kids, these black skinned kids who had so much light that bathed them in white that anybody could see, and to hear like Zimmerman just doing what he did and getting away with it like that hurt me so much to watch that injustice done. And I prayed that justice will be served upon that man through God. And I trust that it will. And if I may just speak my truth, I am somebody who just sees black and white as a reference to the light recognized by the person who is white or black. This is the concept. I am so going crazy about like this is what needs to like get inside the heads of like Americans when they think Black Lives Matter, you know. And like when I first asked myself like why or where, or you know, like where is this instinct like instilled in someone's life that it gets to this point where when in the situation all reasoning and humanity just seems to flee. So I feel the injustice that the Black Lives Matter movement was essentially ignited by. But then I look at the case of George Zimmerman, and this is where things kind of come into a different perspective. Because here is a grown man, grown black-skinned man, who ultimately is a victim of his own choices. A friend of mine told me a quote, "No matter where you go, there you are." It just really got me thinking. But this is the thing about the Black Lives Movement protests that make it difficult for me to join. Because the way that it is vocalized by our fellow Black lives in this movement is not in alignment with what movement I believe should have been. Essentially, you tell me, you know, then it became All Lives Matter, and then that didn't jive well because to the Black Lives Matter movement members, I can imagine like hearing somebody say All Lives Matter, immediately all they're gonna think is, oh, okay, so you think the cops' lives matter just as much as this. But essentially, like I said, well, like all lives matter, you know, in the sense where it's just like these are all people. But if we're talking about colors, we're talking about black versus blue. And in that case, yes, but black isn't skin color to me. It's citizens. We the citizens who pay our taxes, that pay the paychecks of these guys who are killing our fellow citizens. Like, that's the injustice to me. And so when I hear Black Lives Matter versus the blue lives, I just wish that they had said citizens' lives matter, because that movement would have been much more effective, in my opinion and in my perspective, had it been started right at that point, rather than going from the color to whatever steps it's going to take, if that makes sense. But again, I ask myself, how does a parent, I don't know if you have kids, I don't have kids, but I just really worry about the things that our children in this world are like seeing going on. I just hope I can try to like put it into perspective for them so they don't end up like one of these police officers who just act out of some instilled hate or fall victim to someone who just is lost in themselves. So this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. I've created more videos in the span of the actual verdict being announced to today than I ever have, because of the fact that I am so passionate about standing up for these black lives that are being murdered. and then not being understood or treated like a human being by the so-called white. And again, white to me would be somebody who is got the light beaming from them, which I already get the sense like you have the light. I can see your light through YouTube comment. But there are white-skinned people who I know are who we're pointing the finger at. But again, when I hear the issue of white privilege, I do believe, based on my definition, if you are somebody who knows you have the light in you and is reflecting that light in you, you are going to have certain privileges regardless of what color skin you have than somebody who is not seeing the light in them, therefore not shining as bright, but it's in them, but because of life. And I've been through life. And I know what it's like to fall in that hole where it's just dark and black and you just don't see the light to get out of it. I get that. I know that. But a lot of these white people, again, don't understand that because they just never been in that black situation. So in that sense, we can't fault them. But if the enemy is the white skin or white who just don't see what you and I see here, just like, okay, these men had a criminal background, but that doesn't negate the fact of what they were trying to do. And yes, I see that they were probably trying to just, like this Black Lives Movement. I see like how this is like the cause where like finally like all of us blacks can find like a light where we're like, this is a cause that's just. I'm part of this. I want to change this. But again, when I look at just the thinking behind and just watching the Gage testimony, it's just like there clearly is a light in Kyle that's different than the light in Gage. Would you agree or not? And so in that sense, this is long after the aftermath. Again, we've already heard another tragic case of somebody in Wisconsin driving through. But again, the thing that I'm grateful for, this is like the narcissistic disorder in me, is just like, ever since that trial I tuned in, like I've just been trying to focus on just get this idea of just like black and white lives does not mean skin color. It's all about just the light. Does that make sense? And so, yeah, all my comments towards this was just like trying to focus on that, and just try to present a way for whatever happens, the other side, the winning side, to show compassion for the other side who just can't live with this decision and now is vocalizing it in this. And so when I heard about that Wisconsin thing, I was like reading it and I was like, oh wow, it doesn't like say anything about his skin color. And I was like, that is a huge monumental step. And I don't know if I had anything to do with it. I could probably argue that I did, but just that was the sign that I needed, that something I'm doing is working in a sense. And so, with all that being said, if you are somebody who is just, you feel the injustice done, just know that I am on the fight to I'm on the plight to just get some kind of justice for those black lives that were lost. Because ultimately, but again, the white lives that were lost because of black skin, that is an injustice that I need to stop in America. Like immediately. This is something I'm so terrified about. And so with that, I don't want you to think like I'm just getting crazy, but this is something, the Declaration of Independence. I've been reading that so carefully. It was clearly mapped out, and it was the interpretation of that screwed it up. And so if you watch my videos, you're going to see probably a lot of crazy stuff where I'm like now claiming to be the second coming of Jesus. I don't know what your religious stance is, but in no way do I mean that to be offensive to you. I state that with the clearest purpose and just full alignment that, like Jesus, I'm just here to build a bridge between man and God. So if that makes sense and you just kind of like to follow my work and my journey on this, please subscribe. My goal is to be able to have at least 1,000 subscribers, just to be able to just put myself live and be available to whoever may be live at the time. But I'm at 9 subscribers, so I got a long way to go. But just know that just you replying means so much to me, and just me taking so much time to reply back to you makes me feel so bad about just how well I'm like doing on this. So with that said, I just again hope that this video finds you with a open heart, open mind, and in a better position than you found yourself maybe when you had posted this originally. I subscribed to your channel on both of my things, so if you've got 2 extra new subscribers, just know it's just really me. But yeah, I hope this video isn't too intrusive, and feel free to comment on this. I will definitely be paying attention, and like I said, yeah, I hope to see a new subscriber, and I hope that new subscriber is definitely you sometime in the future, because you do matter to me, whatever identity you are. Just know that you matter because you took the time to hear what I have to say and share what you had to say. So that is something I cherish that a lot of people don't. So don't think I'm some crazy stalker or whatever, but like I said, I'm here for you if you ever want to just talk about anything. So I hope that helps you and just kind of eases you, knowing that somebody like me is on the fight for us. Don't worry, I'm on it. But I could definitely use people like you as part of my army, my movement, because the Black Lives Movement isn't gonna fix anything. Trust me. Trust me. It's my movement. So if you want to hear more about my movement, please say so in the comments. I would love to share and hear your feedback and just thoughts about my platform. So again, thank you. Sorry for butchering your name and the timely manner that this video finds you, but you'll be in my heart, in my prayers, in the sense where I just hope that, yeah, this opens up your heart to help connect with me. I'm not going to pray like, oh, not like that. That's not how prayer works. But I pray that, again, this just opens the door to build a bridge between us to get closer and work together or whatever we need to do. But thank you for reaching out. Thank you for sharing, and just thank you for believing in yourself. Love you.